This week, the Cantina crew celebrate the return of Andor with an Andor-themed draft. All three hosts draft both a Rebel strike team and an Imperial Response Force to meet those rebels in battle. After they make their picks and share their lists, you'll be the judge of who assembled the most effective team. Enjoy. Welcome to another week of Cantina Chronicles. For those of you that don't know, Cantina Chronicles is a weekly Cantina crawl across the Star Wars galaxy where we have mind-expanding conversations about all things Star Wars, including news, notes, theory, synthesizing all media. We are the landing pad for all things Star Wars. Grab a seat. Let's talk Star Wars. Grant and Adam, and myself, Ben. Grant and Adam, how are you guys right now?
Yeah, good.
Fabulous.
Yeah,
it's great. I can hear the drums just coming off while you're hype.
Oh, I'm hyped, guys. We missed a week.
Yeah. Well, things happen. People get laryngitis. Other stuff happens.
Yeah. We just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And then it was just it was too late.
I'm like, maybe I'll be better tonight. And then it's and then a week later. Yeah. I'm good. I was just thinking about, I can't believe how close we are to Andor season 2. It's
really close.
It's nuts. And I think part of it is, and this is going to be it's going to be a slight dig, but we've been watching Daredevil, and Carter's like, how many episodes left? I'm like, 2 more episodes, and then it's Andor. She's like, thank God.
Thank God. Yeah. Oh, actually, yeah. I'm going to start my rewatch soon. I actually just found out my day of work right after Andor got canceled on the day after Andor releases. So I am going to be even for Andor debut. I'm going to be even.
You're going to be there day one.
Yeah. I'm going to be fresh. I'm probably going to watch it
right
twice.
On the drop.
Maybe we'll do a pod. I don't know what you guys feel like. We haven't discussed it yet, but
this is the beginning of our series of pods.
Yeah,
this is the beginning of our celebration of Andor and Tony Gilroy, and we'll talk about Tony Gilroy and sort of some of the pods and appearances he's had recently. That I think both Ben and I have listened to. Adam, I'm sure you've seen Tony Gilroy, maybe the sneak peek on Lucasfilm or that reel that they shared there. But he's making the rounds, and it's awesome. Super inspiring stuff.
Yes, he's always the same dude. He's always so open, so honest, so kind, and just authentic. Just the most authentic dude. And he loves talking shop. And he's just, and I don't know, he's kind to everyone. I think, he's just flattered that people like his stuff. He's lived a long enough time that, that he really appreciates. I mean, I don't know. People probably appreciate it the first day too, but he's, for whatever reason, he really appreciates that people care enough to do podcasting. Grant, didn't you say there was a line he was talking about
the protein?
I think he was talking about releasing 3-episode arcs, and he said it was going to be really hard on the podcasters. So I feel seen.
I actually think that's better for podcasters, because I would almost argue that you can then critique a full arc of, a full year in the galaxy, and then it skips a year, right? Skips
every week's a new year.
It's a year.
Yeah. So he's doing the rounds. He's great. This Grant sent this awesome podcast. It's called Script Notes.
Script Notes. Yeah.
Script Notes, with 2 professional script writers that host it, one of whom is currently working on Last of Us right now. So big boys have great rapport with Tony, but it doesn't matter. It's like everywhere Tony talks, he's talks to you like he's your best friend. But a lot of really good nuggets in there.
I feel like you and Tony connect because you got that bartender connection.
Was he a bartender?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe he was a bartender for a few years. It makes a difference
when you have to talk for money directly, and when you're talking for every penny, you earn the gift for gab.
I think he said that. I don't want to speak for Tony Gilroy. He's obviously the master, the Jedi master of basically just tonal spycraft drama and tension and sort of elite subcultures.
Yeah.
It's kind of like fascinating to watch.
Yeah, that pod was great. I mean, he talked about just like being a showrunner as opposed like as a writer. There was a lot of it was amazing. The thing that stuck out to me was a serendipity part where he was just sort of like he definitely had buyer's remorse. He said like a year into that to production, he was like, what have I done? Because it was originally for 5 seasons over 5 years he was supposed to crank out, and he was like, there's no way. And then he was saved by COVID, and then he was able to sort of stop, look at everything he had done. Like he was just sort of like churning it out. And he said
COVID was the best thing that ever happened to Andor season 1.
Yeah, he said it's like it saved it. He's like, it would not be half as good if they didn't have that moment to pull back and then and look at everything they're doing and reevaluate and replan and
then figure out that he needed to just kind of write and polish every script until the day of shooting.
I also can't imagine how bloated that would have felt, that many episodes. Like in that, like because it already is, they're long seasons already, and I think they run so well. I can't imagine splitting it up over 5 years.
Yeah. I know it's tough to imagine like what could have been and like how close we were to that too. It's just like there's so much serendipity I think that's involved in filmmaking and and story writing, and it's just like there's so much we don't know about that process, and it's just wild. And that he went into it, and then and then having that time, they figured it out, and then he actually said for Andor season 2, the writer's strike, he says it's not a blessing. There's not really a silver lining. You don't want to talk about it like that, but he was like, it did help in that it was fun.
No, that didn't help anyone.
Yeah, but the
writer's strike stopped, I think. Like anyone with a writer's credit and their interaction with production or whatever was happening. So,
but what it allowed for him is he said he just finished right before the writer's strike, like first rounds of scripts for everything, handed them off to the production people. And then when the strike was over, he was like, how it's like a common joke with like script writers that I always wanted to see my movie for the first time. He like actually got that experience because he like handed the scripts for 12 episodes and he got 12 episodes right after the writer's strike. It wasn't close to done, but it was like there was 12 episodes there and he got to see it, and he was like, and I mean obviously he hires a great team, he leads well, he delegates well. So he got great.
He had production designer Lucas Hull in the writers' meetings, like breaking the story. Like they were talking to the production designer as they were talking about the story and sort of where we're traveling to and what's going on.
That was your favorite part, right, Grant?
No, that was just cool to hear about like the process of just discovering what Andor was essentially.
And the 5 days.
Yeah, the 5 days.
Yeah, we talked about that off air, but like they just went into a hotel. It was like him and the production designer and his like brother. And they just like hashed out it was their whole writer's room and just like hashed out a script and made it happen. So it's a great, amazing listen. All that stuff. I love that he also said he's like, writers have no business on set, and he doesn't go on set when they're filming.
It was fascinating.
I really believe in that because
it feels like a new style. It feels like a fascinating new direction for leading a sort of like 4-quadrant giant intellectual property into the future. It's sort of, it feels like the right approach to be like, I just need to write this because if I try to do too much, it's too much for how big this is essentially. And you need to almost break the work up into different units.
Yeah.
I've been on, sorry, go for it.
No, I was going to figure like you can't see the forest for the trees. I feel like if you get that involved with it, and I'm really glad to hear that because one of the things I was worried about when the writer's strike was happening was they talked about how the production could keep going on because they were shot in England, right? And so that wasn't affected by the writer's strike. But Tony Gilroy couldn't be on the set. So hearing that he doesn't like being on the set anyway, and do that or have input makes me feel really secure about season 2 because he must have done the same thing for season 1. I was a little worried that was going to hurt it, right, with him not being on there. So that's awesome to hear.
He says he totally believes in it, and he's like, I want the directors to take big swings. He's like, the only thing we reshot was the first episode, the first thing we shot. He's like, because I didn't feel like the directors took big swings enough because they were, understandably being more reserved and like didn't want to go. He's like, no, go for it. Like I want you do your art. I do my art. And like, I've been on a set where the writer also directed and it was excruciating. It was excruciating because every line was getting like nitpicked in every scene. And we're just like, can we go, bro? And we also had like amazing improv comics as actors. And like, we used to have a different director, and that director would like, all right, let's do the lines. He's like, and then you guys just go on like one and just let the actors do the thing. And there was always good stuff that we could pull out of there. So anyways, I loved that. I love that part.
Anyways, in celebration of Andor, we've made our minds a sunless space. We've sacrificed everything to bring you high quality entertainment in the form of a draft.
Yes, a draft.
A draft.
Looking forward to this draft. This is why we had
an Andor themed draft in which we will pick both a Rebel strike team and an Imperial Response Force. And do you want to list the subcategories of the teams, Ben?
I do want to list these categories, Grant. Thank you very much for creating these categories. They're very fun. We're definitely gamifying this because the categories are different for the Rebels and the Imperials. So I'll start with the Rebels, with your Rebel strike team that you can put together. We're each going to draft a leader, a pilot, a heavy, strategist, a wild card, a vehicle, and that is the Rebel strike team. Now, on the Imperial side, we're going to draft a leader, a group of troopers of some sort, a heavy, an intelligence officer, a wild card, and a vehicle.
Or vehicles, plural.
It's vehicles plural.
Yeah, just for the Imperials, though. They'll have more resources, right? It'll be
cool. And Grant has added another wrinkle into this game where, what is it called? The like hyper
super laser blast. Okay, super laser blast. This is great. This is fantastic. This is a tool, basically. Any of us can use this tool to basically destroy another person's pick.
We get one, right?
Yeah, and then you can then pick that same character in that same category if you want later, or you can pick that character in a different category. But if it's the other player's turn again and they want to pick that character in a different category and the character somehow fits in that different category, they can do that. So you can blast someone's pick in a certain category, but then they could probably pick that character in a different category if it fits later. Okay. So you'd want to block and then pick that character.
All right.
Steal. So it's used as a steal, essentially.
Okay. Yeah. So I assume we got to do, this is a long draft, so we're going to have to do Snake on this. Are we going to do Rebels first? Do pick all our Rebel teams?
I think we'll do Rebels first, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not like across the whole
lead
board.
with the heroes, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That'd be too wild to go all over, like jump around. Yeah.
All right. This is really cool. This is
Rebels
really cool.
first.
Yeah. Do you have your chance cubes, Grant?
I don't have my chance cube, but Ben, I think you should draft first because you've been anticipating the draft, and so you go first. Then Adam
organized this pod for like a week and a half.
Yeah, I think you should go first. Honestly,
yeah, I agree with that.
Nice,
but really... I can do an RNG generator real quick if you guys want me to.
I mean, I just fair is fair. What kind of game do we have if it's not
okay? Let's do it.
Yeah, this isn't
no one can complain later.
This isn't my Guido. There are rules.
All right. We're gonna roll for Ben first. Ben got a 7. We're gonna roll for Adam. Adam got a 4. We're gonna roll for me. I got a 3.
Wow.
Ben, you lead.
Yeah. There you go. Okay. Fair and square.
And then it'll go Adam, then me. That's
all right.
Exactly. Yep. Perfect. That's exactly
all right.
I like being in the middle because I never mess up.
All right. Well,
and then should we do Snake where I pick 2 and come back around, or
what
do you guys think?
I think Snake's the fairest way.
Is that you're in the middle, Adam, and you know statistics, and you're a big fan of snake drafts?
Yeah.
Is this fair?
It's the fairest way. Everyone gets because the thing is, I'm always in the middle. So and then there's advantages to either way. It's just how you feel, but in terms of statistically, it's the best way because it's better than someone always being first and someone always being last, right? At least you guys get to switch off on who's first, who's last. I'm always in the middle. So
we always get double picks and you never get a double pick.
I'm fine with that. I hate double picks. I prefer to be in the middle for that reason. I like to, it gives me more time to think a little bit about it.
Okay, great. Well, I know who I am going to pick with my first pick overall. And this is great because we're all dorking out about the NFL draft.
We were.
I'm very much in draft mindset right now.
It's fun.
Travis Hunter to the Pats, baby, at 4. Let's go. So we're gonna will it into being. Okay. I'm gonna pick Han Solo as my pilot. Because this is the way I draft. Yes, they're gonna be a great team, but they need to be a swaggy team, and they need to be a team that I can be like sitting in the corner hanging out with. And I just like, of all the great pilots in the Rebellion, there's no one swaggier than Han Solo. I'm sorry. He's just the best. And maybe it's cliche or whatever, but like, he can fly anything. So it doesn't even really matter what vehicle I end up with. He can fly it. And I just want that swagger on my ship. Know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you can't argue with Solo. Like that's a solid pick.
All right. What do you got, Adam?
All right. So for my first pick, I'm going to draft a leader, and I'm going Mon Mothma.
Oh, good pick.
Good pick. She was definitely high on my board.
Yeah, I had kind of. It's funny, after reading our book that we're reading, The Mask of Fear, I really was like thinking this one the most of, like, of the 3 characters in there, who do I want as my leader, right? And I feel like Mon Mothma kind of is a little bit of best of both worlds. She's calculating and thoughtful, but also works off of emotion at time too. So I like it. Plus, she has giant like coffers. So that's
Never
my
heard
pick.
Called that before. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah. All right. I'll pick 2 here. I'm gonna go leader Luthen Rail.
Ooh,
or leader.
Wow. Right. Okay.
And then for pilot, I'm gonna go Cassian Andor.
Ooh, you're just Andoring your.
I'm trying to combo. I'm going to try and combo on the pass here. Yeah, and now I'm pushing it back.
So you both have chosen pilots, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I can hold off on that.
Yeah. Okay.
We went all in on pilots, I guess, because I'm trying to add swag too. I think Andor brings swag as well, much like Han, in a different way though. It's sort of elite spy swag.
Yeah, no doubt. Huge set of skills there. So Adam, when you picked Mon, was that your strategist or your leader?
That's my leader.
Okay, your leader. Okay.
Yeah.
He would have been my strategist, FYI.
I think she could fit in either. I think actually all those characters could fit either way. I think she also wins hearts and minds, like the way she comes in and the way she talks in Return of the Jedi, right? I'm leading a little more on her senatorial times of being able to put together a good speech and rally the troops.
Mm-hmm. Rad, man. So you got one more. Wait, no, you did Luthen and...
I did Luthen and Cassian.
And Cassian. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So it's back to me, right? So for my wild card, which I'm like, I don't, this could be anything, I guess. But I'm kind of taking it literally, like kind of somewhat unpredictable, like somewhat suave, whatever. So I'm going Lando. Yeah. I'm taking Lando for my wild card.
Oh, I love that. I love that pick.
Yeah. You need someone who's willing to take risks, right? And willing to gamble. So that's my wild card.
Apropos that he is a wild card.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I'm taking it very literally.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
I get
that's you, man.
Yeah.
Man. All right. I think I know what I'm going to do here then. I think I'm going to go... I guess these two are interchangeable, but I guess I will say Leia as my leader and Admiral Gail Akbar as my strategist.
Nice.
Ooh, that's wow. Those are huge picks.
That's solid. Yeah.
Akbar was definitely getting on my team. Like,
wow. Okay, all right. It's getting real right now. It's getting super real right now.
I totally get that you picked Solo for your pilot, but were you at least somewhat, tempted to take 9 Yum for your pilot? Or is he going to be your wild card?
Round's not over yet, buddy. Draft isn't over.
All right. Those are your 2, right? So it's back to me.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes.
Let's see. Who do I want to draft now? Yeah, no one's gonna take that. All right. So for my heavy,
good one.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm going Chewbacca.
Oh,
Okay.
Chewie.
Yeah, right. I feel bad. I'm splitting up Han and Chewie, but
Well,
at the
that's
same
fine.
time, yeah.
Honestly,
I mean,
Chewie wasn't on my board.
yeah. This one I had
Oh,
three
yeah.
others, and then my mind was just like Chewie. Like he rips arms off droids. He has that powerful bowcaster. He will rip people apart.
He's a
Master pilot.
I mean, he shot his basically he shot his nephew like in cold blood, like just immediately, like in a rage. So this is my guy.
Yeah, no, Chewie's A+ pick. You can't go wrong with Chewie. He can do pretty much everything.
I'm gonna go. Okay, I have two on the turn here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go Ahsoka Tano and Wild Card.
Ooh, nice.
Can I do that?
Right. Where? She's in Rebels. Yeah, Ahsoka's there.
So that was my thought. I was thinking kind of.
I'm gonna do Ahsoka Tano and Wild Card because I technically think one of us could pick the biggie of
Yeah, we really
Luke.
could.
I think Luke is still out there, and anyone could pick in any category. Take Luke.
9 picks in.
I could even take Luke in heavy, maybe, but I don't know.
He would.
You could argue that.
Yeah, I would argue a Jedi.
He's not in heavy. He's
yeah.
I don't think I have a category left,
right?
So I took Ahsoka right here.
Nice.
Ahsoka's cooler though. I mean,
yeah, and then I'm gonna take I'll take General Draven and Strategist from Rogue One.
Nice. Yep. You know,
okay.
It's interesting.
Okay.
I'm trying to combo.
He never leaves Yavin, right?
Yeah. He doesn't leave the hollow projector. You know what I mean? All the battles.
Sato. You don't want Commander Sato. You don't want.
I already have Ahsoka Tano in Wild Card. I think that was a huge pick. So it's like Luke Skywalker.
Oh, yeah.
Someone can pick Luke, but I'm like, I have Ahsoka. I feel like I'm getting the same amount of sort of Jedi mastery and probably better Jedi mastery. Because where is Luke when it's a rebellion? Right? I guess it counts all the way up to Return. So I guess it counts.
It's odd, right? You're kind of thinking.
I think you have to
level.
You should almost. We should almost give subtitles to Han, Luke, and Leia, and allow us all to pick like
what era or what film. Yeah,
3 different versions of each.
Yeah. So I guess that's kind of my question, which I don't necessarily think will affect my choice, but it's interesting. Like we talked about, you could pick Luke in a lot of multiple categories.
You could.
If you did, is he then only in that category? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
I think
I feel like a team's a team, but they need to have a role. Like every cadre, you know, like Chewie. Like, what is like Chewie's a pilot, but he's
pilot. He's monster muscle. Yeah.
You know, but
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
I'm not taking Luke, by the way. I was just
okay. It is back to you though. I think.
It is. So, for my strategist, this one's interesting, or not interesting, but this one's kind of a bit not out there. But I was just kind of thinking, who would I want to put this together? Especially seems like we're focusing on space a lot since it's Star Wars. And I'm going Hera Syndulla for my strategist. And later era Hera, right? When we see her in squadrons and stuff like that, she's leading all the battles and stuff like that. So
do you have a pilot yet?
Yeah, no, I do not, because you both have pilots, so I can choose at the end. I don't have to rush on my pilot.
But you do have Lando, and you do have Chewie, and you do have
Hera.
Okay.
Okay, those are pretty good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're all great pilots too.
But you just wanted Hera off the board. Okay.
Well, that's because the only things I have left are ship and pilot. I could pick whoever for pilot because you guys already picked pilots. So
yeah. Man. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
2D.
So you've got strategery going on here.
Yeah.
I'm kind of.
I don't want so many picks I need right now. Like I just want to end it because I could take something right now that would be upsetting to a lot of people.
Well, it's my turn, right? It's back to me.
Yeah, it's your turn.
I mean, I guess I got to take Luke off the board, and he's going to be. He's going to be my heavy. I mean, now
I thought we decided he couldn't be heavy. I thought we decided he's more of a leader or a.
See, I think any Jedi is essentially a heavy.
I'm gonna super laser blast this.
You beat me to it. Grant. I was gonna get a pew pew for me as well.
Laser blast. Yeah, this is getting hit. Luke, this is getting exploded.
Come on, we gotta take Luke off the board.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, I wasted mine. Adam, you still have one.
I still do.
You still have one. Yeah.
You know what? Can you retroactively take one, or like does it have to be at the moment it happens?
What do you mean?
Yeah,
can I pew pew?
Yeah, you could actually. Oh no, I'm saying.
Oh no, it has to be when it happens, man. You can't just
fair enough.
That'd be wild.
No, I'm saying, so does Ben
so
get, Ben
one of
gets
you
to
can pick
again
Luke.
now?
I just can't pick Luke. Right? That's how.
Not in this category now. Yeah, you have to. You can pick him in a different category if you can find one that you haven't picked.
Yeah, if he's still around.
All right. This is feeling like you did this logistically, like you guys are throwing a flag on the field on that one. But
no,
okay.
no, I actually wasted mine, and Adam still has one too to destroy another pick.
I mean, you can just tell me
one,
if you don't think they fit a category, because if you're not letting me take Luke, I'm taking Kane and Jarrus.
No, that's just
my
pick that, and then I wasted my thing. It's like because then it's like I want to steal Luke for something, or I want to try and take it.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean? Like I want to steal that character because you're trying to make the best team.
Oh, because you're trying to like scoop Luke later. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's a steal kind of, and you could take him in a different category if you have one at the ready.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, let me think about this for a quick second. All right. I get 2 picks. I'm going to take the Millennium Falcon.
Nice.
It's a huge pick.
Nice. Yeah.
And I still strategery. There's a lot of strategery going on in my mind right now. And I think I've got to just take the coins that are on the table.
Table time slows down.
Yeah.
Come on. Stop stalling.
Come on. You got this. You got this.
Yeah.
I'm taking 9 nub.
Nice. There you go.
Right.
So I'm taking the Falcon and 9 nub.
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Beautiful combo. And you got Han. Like you got your pilot of the Falcon.
In what category is 9 nub?
He's my wild card.
Okay, great.
He's a spy also, by the way. A lot of people don't know that.
Yep.
If you read the
he's
book.
He's a badass.
He's
I think
a
combos
revolutionary.
with Han too. I bet Han and 9 nub get up some business.
He's essentially the Cassian Andor of Sullust.
It's true. Yeah. And Sullust is like a awesome planet. And very visually stunning.
Sinar Systems is out of there. That's they make a lot of ships there. Okay.
Adam's up. It goes back to Adam on
back
one.
to Adam.
Back to me.
All right. For my pilot, I'm taking Jet Porkins. No, I'm kidding. I am gonna pick Wedge for my pilot.
Woo, Wedge, okay.
You know, he may not be the flashiest, but he survived every single major battle of the rebellion, right? Of the Galactic Civil War. Like he survived 2 Death Stars getting blown up. Like this is my man, and flew inside the second one. Like he's great. He's like there. Yeah. So that's my pilot.
All right. I'm gonna take in heavy. I'm gonna take K2SO.
Nice. Ooh, that's a good one. I didn't even pick a K2SO. I love it.
In vehicle, I'm gonna take the Ghost.
Nice. So yeah, I love that pick. Question: vehicle could be anything, or what are we talking about? Is it like?
I was just thinking limited to singular vehicle for the rebels, and then a fleet of things if you want to pick for the Empire.
Okay. I was not thinking that way, but I can adjust. That is fine.
No, but you can also take a cruiser. Like you could take a giant ship if you want to.
No, I'm not going to do that because you guys both picked little ones.
All right. We picked little ones.
I can think smaller. It's fine. I can think smaller.
I thought about picking home one, but it's just if you're really talking strike team, I want to.
I think that makes sense. I was not thinking strike team. I should have. That was on me, not on you.
Because you could do Starhawks and Mon Cala cruisers.
So let's see. For my ship, I am blanking on the name of it, so I'm trying to quickly do some Googling, or if you just want to tell me, which feels wrong.
Yeah, no, tell us what it is.
It's driving me nuts.
Roughly what it is.
Yeah, I mean it's the ship from Bad Batch, and I am completely blanking.
The Havoc Marauder.
Thank you. I kept doing the Ebon Hawk
pick.
The Ebon Hawk,
such a good pick. Oh my god,
Havoc Marauder.
Because also like it just will scare people. Like just the name of it alone.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for me.
All right, that's it for Rebels. I think.
It right.
Wait, no, I have one more pick.
Oh yeah, one more.
Okay, you have one more.
Oh yeah, because we have an odd.
I'm taking Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right.
Forgot he was still there. What category are you taking him in though?
Heavy.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I guess you can just get him. Yeah. We'll get it. You have it. All right.
Yeah, I mean,
all right.
he was on the table.
Who's the last rebel you want to see on the other end of the hallway?
Luke Skywalker.
It's Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
I don't know. Luthen Rail, standing on the skywalk is. I'll fight for that.
Yeah, but I mean, if I'm a squad of troopers, Luthen Rails, what he's going to throw his wig at me?
Yeah. He doesn't have access to his lightsaber gun.
How dare you?
Yeah, his lightsaber ship.
Yeah.
His duster just blowing in the wind and he's just looking epic, but just having no weapon.
If I'm a photographer, I want Luthen Rail at the other end.
All right.
Wait,
do you want
no,
to list our
Adam-
teams now, or do you want to pick?
Did you pick a? Oh, right. I didn't write it down. Havoc Marauder.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So here we go.
So Rebel Strike teams. Just I'll list mine. I wrote
them all down.
I've got Luthen Rail as my leader. I've got Cassian Andor as my pilot. I've got K2SO as my heavy. I've got General Draven as my strategist. I've got Ahsoka Tano and Wildcard, and I got the Ghost as my vehicle.
Nice.
That's a great team. Great team. What do you got, Adam?
Let's see. For my leader, I got Mon Mothma. For my pilot, Wedge. For my heavy, Chewbacca, or just Chewie. Strategist is Harris and Dula. My wild card is Lando, and my vehicle is the Havoc Marauder.
You've got a lot of pilots.
Those are
just in case.
Very powerful group.
A lot of pilots. So depending on who makes it out alive, there's someone can fly. Everyone can fly the ship.
A lot of leadership on that as well. I mean, Wedge kind of falls into line. Chewie keeps his mouth shut for the most part.
Yep.
But Mon Lando and Hera, you got a lot going on there.
Well, I just having a great time on your ship. Like I don't know. I wish you the best time.
Well, and I feel like they all have different strengths, right? Some of them are more bruisers, other ones are more strategists, and then you got like Lando who could just charm his way out of any situation.
Yeah. All right, I've got Team Iconic. Han Solo as your pilot. Probably
you got the Trinity. You got the Trinity.
Wait,
no.
Leia's a leader.
Rebel Strike team.
Luke is my heavy. Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't even notice.
And then
I had to blow up one time. I was like, he doesn't get Luke this one time at least. We're gonna try to destroy it.
Oh, man.
Happened. He got it.
9-Nub in the co-pilot seat, and then Admiral Akbar just getting drunk on the Dejarik table in the back, with me.
So he's your strategist? Is that correct?
Akbar is my strategist.
Yeah. He's just good at just yelling out.
I do have Luthen Andor K2SO. I feel like that's also
That's
a power.
Yeah, they're a power trio for sure. They would be like if you're playing a video game or something else, you get like extra stats for pairing them together.
Yeah. And with Ahsoka there too, that's great.
Ahsoka there with K2, you got like just droid power, and next to Jedi mastery, it's like, oh man, it's too good.
Rad. All right, on to Imperial Response Force.
Wow.
So should we re-roll for this one, or are we just going to?
Do you want to roll again? Yeah, let's do it again.
I mean, I don't want to roll again, but
okay. A roll for Ben first again. 8 for Ben. Adam gets a 10.
Whoa.
And I get a 7. So Adam first.
Okay.
Then me. Am I in the middle this time? And then Ben, essentially.
I forget.
Listening. What'd you get? What'd you get, Greg? Because I got a 10. Ben got an 8.
It's going to go Adam, Ben, me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm last again. It's okay.
But you get the double.
Yeah,
so it all works out.
Yeah.
It all works out. All right. So who do I want to draft first? I don't want to do that because that might get laser blast. So I might wait till the very end. Let's see. I'm gonna go leader, and for my leader, I'm going Tarkin, Grand Moff Tarkin.
Oh,
yes, I had other choices.
Tarkin, okay,
very good pick. Very good pick. Yeah,
he is definitely a response force.
Keeping order.
You want. He keeps order. He's a good strategist. He does multiple things. So that's my
Oh wow, yeah, that's high up in the hierarchy too. Wow, that's
But he gets his hands dirty.
Grand Moff Tarkin, great pick.
I figured out the strategy here. I'm taking Vader.
Yeah, I'm gonna laser blast that.
There it is. I was waiting for
Adam.
it.
Oh, Adam. All right, so I still have mine. Adam used his. Okay.
Yeah.
I could hit someone's Vader later. Ben could still hit someone's Vader.
Ben has
Yeah,
Ben
he
has
could
his
still
left,
hit someone
so,
else.
Yeah.
So then after you
That was my strategy.
use your Death Star, does the person get to then pick again, or are we just moving past?
No,
them
I think so. I think you still get to
you gotta
pick.
pick it.
Yeah,
So you pick
you
again.
gotta pick someone else. Basically,
You can pick
can't
anyone but that person.
But that
Vader,
character, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Thrawn
Oh,
Nice.
in
Yeah.
what category?
as leader.
Leader.
Yeah.
Great pick. Oh my goodness, that's a great pick. Okay, it's me now. Let's see here. We're just destroying each other's picks right now.
Yeah, that's the fun.
Just
I love
one.
that addition.
Yeah.
For troopers, I'm gonna take dark troopers.
Yeah.
Like the droids.
Yeah. That was on my short list for heavies.
Just to
So
get
your
that
headcanon,
done
the dark
with.
troopers are droids.
Oh, I don't know. They're whatever they are. The
No,
final
dark-
phase 3. So yeah, maybe they're droids of phase 3.
Yeah, the
but
dark
phase
troopers
1,
are right
maybe
because
there's
those are the
something
ones
else.
in the
The machine
Mando.
ones.
Yeah, the
Like
machine
Moff
ones
Gideon's.
essentially. Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh, the dark troopers, not.
yeah,
Oh, I
dark
thought you said
troopers.
death troopers. In my
No,
head.
I'm not taking death
Yeah.
troopers. I'm taking dark troopers.
Oh,
Yeah.
those are OP.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's why it's a quick pick of like stopping something that's happening.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's one that didn't even occur to me. That's
Yeah.
great.
Let's think here. Like it's probably phase 1 at this
I mean,
point. I don't know.
Yeah,
what
I
it
guess
looks like.
there might be people in the suits at this point. I mean, is it precedented that dark troopers exist? I think in the comics there's like that one person who has like a dark.
You know what?
trooper.
I'll take death troopers then and troopers.
Because I'm not sure if. I mean,
I
we
don't
know
think dark troopers exist at that point in the canon. It's only
that's
Yeah.
a good point. Unclear.
Death Troopers.
Yeah.
I'll take death troopers and troopers.
Okay. And
Yep. Yeah. I'll take Darth Vader now.
What
was that
going
on?
to happen?
Darth Vader and heavy.
I'm sorry. Did you say something, Adam?
Yeah, I said I knew that was going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
Are you gonna super laser blast, Grant?
I can't.
No, I'm not going to do my own pick, but you can use yours and get rid of my pick here. And then
You're
he's-
the only.
he's
You
still
have the
out there.
only blaster.
Yeah, you're the only one left.
Yeah.
Oh,
So you
because
have
Adam
to
already
do it,
used
yeah.
his in the last round.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I
Or
blasted
this
your
one.
Darth Vader, and Grant got it. So do you want him to keep your Darth Vader, or do you just want to take the
Yeah.
Darth Vader off
Still
the board?
passing the piece around.
Either way
the
is
board.
fine. Either way is fine.
Take it off the board for now.
Are you destroying it? Okay. Are you?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Okay,
I'm gonna
you're
tempt
good.
fate. I
Yeah.
have to try.
Okay. That's tough.
Eye for an eye. Cybernetic eye for a cybernetic eye.
So angry right now, but keep going. Not at me, not at you guys. No, actually, I'm just mad at the world.
Oh, it's just that again.
I'm
Can
just
I take
honestly-
Palpatine and leader? Can I take Palpatine and leader? Is that possible? Is he too
yeah,
big?
I
Is
see
he too,
why
is he too
not.
big?
I don't see why not. I think you can. Like, he's the leader, right? Like
Leader. Yeah, leader.
Yeah.
It's almost like that's like the one position maybe you could take him in.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you don't mind going for like early bird specials. I'm just kidding. Smelling his crusty.
Dude, what are you talking about? He's unlocking the secrets of the galaxy. He's looking to
I'm just
dominate
kidding.
every
I'm just
living
kidding.
subject.
I'm just kidding. I just don't think he'd be a great hang. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, you're right. I'm losing the hang.
But I mean, you are getting the most powerful Sith, currently. Hey,
These are
it's
the
a
arguments.
solid pick.
I wanted to start these arguments. Yeah.
I mean, you
Oh
like
my
Palps, you're going to
goodness.
get some epic quotes all the time,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
he's just
very
going to
fun.
bring the vibe way down. He's going to be like an
He
energy
just-
vampire.
He's just gonna let whatever happened happen and just sit there in the back and go, "Yep, all according to my plan. Exactly
according
how
to
I
my
planned
plan."
it.
Poof.
I planned that we'd lose."
Yeah. I wanted Thrawn to capture me. And by capture, I mean put you
Yeah.
in a triple pincer move and destroy you with a wrench.
I'll take the Grand Inquisitor and heavy.
Grand Inquisitor.
Son of a
Okay.
gun.
Resolved and grabbing.
All right.
Because I feel like.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Can I just forfeit now?
Why would you forfeit? So
no
wait, you
reason.
said Death Troopers and then Inquisitor, and what was the one?
I'm not taking Palpatine. I can't take Palpatine
Oh, you're not thinking about
because I don't think you can in leader. Can you?
I mean, you can.
We're not. Yeah.
I have him listed on my leaderboard.
Yeah,
mean,
I think that's.
I think you can.
Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the board.
So I don't get the Inquisitor then. I just get Palpatine as leader.
Okay, don't you get 2 picks?
Because you were saying the Hang.
Well,
I already picked the
Death
Troopers.
The
Death Troopers.
For troopers.
No,
Yeah.
but you get 2 picks in this round.
Yeah, Death Troopers and
Palpatine
and
as leader.
Palps.
Yeah.
But you picked Death Troopers last round? Am I?
No,
This is still first round.
Turn.
Okay.
I get 2 on the turn.
Yeah, this is the first turn.
Now. Back to you, Ben.
Back to you, Ben.
Adam.
Oh, it is back to me.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Oh, I thought I am on drugs. I'm sorry. I thought it was going back to Adam because I thought we were doing last turn.
No, yeah, me too.
Ice in the air.
So I was like,
Who
why
are you
is
gonna
Adam so sad? He's going to take Vader and it's going to
Who are you going to take, Ben? Who are you going to take?
Darth Vader.
Yeah.
All according to my plan.
Mm-hmm. This is why I was angry because there's nothing I could do to prevent it. Like, it's not. There's nothing.
What are you taking him in?
Vader. He's taking Vader.
Of
course he's taking Vader.
He's like the heavy.
Yeah, I know he's the
Yeah.
heavy. He is the
100%.
heavy. He's like what the heavy category is like his trope.
Oh yeah. I mean, a Grand Inquisitor is the only other heavy I could think of. I didn't really like a.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then you can get into like, well, is an ATST a heavy? Like, I don't know.
That was the hardest. That's why I was swearing because that's the hardest category for me to fill in a lot of these things. It is back to me, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yes.
So you both have your heavies, is that correct? No, Grant.
Palpatine's your leader, right?
I do not.
No,
have
okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I will take the Grand Inquisitor for my heavy.
Nice, great pick.
The other one I had, I was thinking of is like, I don't know, like you could argue, I'm not going to say who it is, but you could argue that the Imperials could hire a heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, they used
Gurge. I'm like, was Gurge around? Like,
right. They use bounty hunters a lot, Vader. Yeah. So I guess you could argue that. I was thinking like Black Chrysanthemum maybe could get hired by them, but I'll just take the Grand Inquisitor because that was on my list. All right. And then let's see.
I would accept any of that. Yeah.
Well, yeah. And then I will go for my troopers. I'm going to go, I don't know why. I just like the way they look. I'm going range troopers.
Nice. Good pick. Those are sweet.
I just like their swag. I like the way they look. So
they were on my list too.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, they're on my list. They were right under Death Troopers. I had Death Troopers, then range troopers. Then I had Shore, then Snow.
That's really cool. I miss having 2 picks.
Yeah, right.
For like
2 picks is cool, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm gonna snag them before Grant does. I'm gonna take the Imperial Guards. I don't know if you'd even take them, but I just like their swag.
Oh, the Praetorian Guards.
No, the Imperial Guards.
Oh, Imperial Guards, yeah. That
Praetorian sequel.
Yeah. Trilogy. Oh, you're taking them from me, and I have Palpatine.
Yeah, but
what are you taking them in? What category are you taking them
in? Trooper.
No, I don't know. Adam, can we get a?
There's a lot of them. Have you read?
Are there a lot
called Lords of the Sith? Where
there are a lot of them.
They have a strike team, and they take
down strike team of them down to the planets. It's tough. I don't want him to have it, but
if you guys both vote no.
No. But you get him a wild card. I might give that in a wild card, honestly. If you don't have one yet.
Oh,
I would let that happen.
You'd let that happen, huh?
I would.
You let that
category for sure.
I don't know. I'm feeling Trooper on it. I just feel like they look like troopers. They serve a similar role. So I want to give it to Ben, but I don't like it. I don't want it.
A guard to me just hurts.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. It's really
Imperial Guards. There's all right, so it's 50-50 right now. Do you want to flip on it?
No, you can have it. Their armor is very trooper-esque.
That's kind of it, right? They have a
whole ensemble, essentially. Yeah.
And Ben, I was thinking the exact same. The Dark Lords of the Sith novel, they do treat them like troopers.
Okay.
You know what though? I'm going to appeal. I kind of actually like taking them as a wild card.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good.
Because that means I get
them.
two bites of the apple on troopers, kind of.
Yeah.
And, okay. Even if I only have 2 Imperial Guards, I just want their swag around, really.
Okay, there's swag.
And so I'm going to take them as I'm going to take them as a wild card. I didn't even think about that.
You can effectively take anyone as a wild card, which is great.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 picks here for me.
2.
I'll take Colonel Wolf Yularen in intelligence officer.
Nice. Yep. That's a good one. He was on my short list.
Then I will take. Let's see here. Wow, you guys, the heavies really got just. I'm trying to think.
Yeah. They
got gutted quick.
Yeah.
That's why I need
that category went quick for Empire.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that the desire for film goers? Like you almost want to see the heavy of like whatever the bad guys are. You're like, whoa, like that's the thing that just destroys people.
It's easy to make an iconic evil heavy, right? You just have a giant, human being, like a giant.
Well, that category just went so quick. Now there's nothing left. I'll take Fifth Brother and heavy.
Okay, you don't want a bounty hunter. You could take Boba Fett.
Yeah, you could take Fett.
I was going to take Fett and Wild Card. That was my other. That was where my head was.
You could also do that. Yeah,
you could take Bosk and Fett if you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I will take Boba Fett and Wild Card.
Okay,
nice,
but not as your heavy.
So I still do not have a heavy. It's still empty for me.
Understood. Okay.
So I took Yularen and Boba Fett.
Got it. Okay.
Nice. Back to you.
So I get another bite of the apple here. I had Death Star written down as a vehicle.
Maybe we can't.
This was Jason's joke. He's like, just pick,
I take Death Star too.
Yeah, I know. Every time we go to work, it's just like we always get advice. It's just like, dude, just take the Death Star. Take the Death Star,
and then win.
Do you remember there was an old computer game called Star Wars? I think it was Rebellion, and it was this like really like it was like very much a strategy game where you'd be able to do stuff, but eventually if you played as the Imperials, you could use the Death Star. And I remember that game just going around, I blew up like every single Star Wars planet. It's just like, this feels wrong.
This is like, did I win? That doesn't feel like
I won as the Galactic Empire by blowing up every single planet that was possibly a rebellion stronghold.
Wow.
I mean,
that is wild.
I'll let someone pick Death Star and Wild Card if they're just that crazy. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pick the Death Star just because I'm playing with toys at this point. I'm not really picking a team. And the Death Star is a big toy. That said, I think, maybe, I guess I should just in case, this is probably the most popular pick. I think that'll be there. I'm going to pick a Star Destroyer.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
you can pick
also
any class ship. Yeah, it's fine.
Super huge. I mean, I guess like, does it? A vehicle.
Yeah, because once one of those goes, I imagine someone else is going to pick the other one, and then I'll be left
it's not like we're really heading off in like a two. I don't know, but I just think Star Destroyers are awesome. I've picked them for like my own private vehicle. I think when we had a vehicle draft, I picked them. They're cool. Like it's kind of funny to think of all these people clanking around in an AT-AT, like Tarkin and the Grand Inquisitor, or for me, it would be Thrawn, Vader, and some Imperial guards, and like thudding towards a battlefield, which kind of sounds amazing.
Yeah, I mean, like, did you get Vader and Thrawn, Ben?
Yeah, I got Vader and Thrawn.
Vader and Thrawn. That's
so hard. That's so upsetting. So, I think you won both picks, which is very Were you in the middle in both drafts? Or no, you were at the
he was first and middle. And so I guess my question is, we're talking about all these people are this is the only people on the strike team.
Like the response force.
The response force. Yeah. Do they have mindless, faceless? I kind of see them.
Pick troopers eventually. So like troopers are maybe the first part of the.
I guess if you have enough troopers, they would be able to help run the Star Destroyer. Is that a fair argument?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's if you want to do like a single team craft, I'm all for that.
I don't know. I kind of like the fact that I feel like the Imperials should be bigger than the Rebel Strike Team. So I like that idea. I was just kind of curious what everyone else thought. But I'm kind of like, I feel like I think we should assume there's a bunch of mindless Imperials running the ship.
Yes.
Right. So that's kind of where I was at.
They're not strategizing. They're not piloting. They're not, well, they are.
Yeah. And no Death Star. So that has actually be like, it actually has to be a ship. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. Is that to me then?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Well, now that we all settled out, I'm going to take a Superstar Destroyer for my my Superstar Destroyer for my vehicle. And then
wait, you're taking the executor?
The executors.
Yeah.
There's multiple Superstar Destroyers, but I'll take the executor. Yes, that's enough.
Wait, Ben, what did you pick for ship?
Star Destroyer.
A regular Star Destroyer.
What did you
Star
Did you pick the Devastator, like Vader's Star Destroyer? Like
I think
you should pick a named Star Destroyer, because I think like other people can pick
the Chimera.
Ooh, did you get that Thrawn synergy?
Yeah, like
Vader's invited aboard.
Yeah, this is Thrawn's ship. He's the lead. He's the leader, so this is Thrawn's ship.
Yeah.
Adam took my ship because I have Palpatine, which is very upsetting. I feel like, or I guess that was Vader.
Yeah. No, I know it is very. I don't know what Tarkin's going to do with that thing.
Like,
I should be able to pick the Death Star. With Tarkin.
Tarkin took it.
But all right. And then for my second pick for my Imperial officer, I'm going to pick intelligence officer. Actually, I'm going to pick Deidre Merrow.
Oh, great pick.
Yeah, I think
we're going to see a lot more in season 2. So
I think so. I think she's because I was thinking of like her or maybe Partagaz, but I feel like Partagaz is like now more of a like he's a supervisor in a way. Like I feel like Deidre Merrow is more likely to kind of get in the muck and figure stuff out. She's got that go-getter attitude.
And with my fifth pick, I take Major Partagaz.
Wait, isn't it my turn? Oh,
I wouldn't follow anyone. It was like really, I was like sitting there just.
Oh yeah, it goes back.
It goes back to me. Yeah. He takes 2 back to me, and I am taking Partagaz. I was like, no one's gonna take Partagaz.
So you take him an intelligence officer. Great.
It was Mira or Partagaz for me, so that's a good. I like that pick.
So originally, I had Mira as my wild card and Partagaz as my intelligence officer.
Nice. Yeah,
I feel like Deidre thinks outside the box. Like she's gonna get to the heart of it.
Yeah.
And like really, I just want to hang out with Major Partagaz. And like he's there for the hang. But he's also like that guy knows what's up. He knows what's up. He's got ultimate chill. I feel like he and Thrawn and Vader will get along great. Like he'll recognize the genius of Thrawn and Vader and whatever and step back and do their thing.
Yeah, I love it.
In
2 for you, Grant.
In vehicle, I'm taking Vader's Star Destroyer, the Devastator, the original Star Destroyer that you see in Star Wars.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay.
The Devastator. I have to just get up there on the ships with you guys because this is going to be an all-out war. Or I guess we're going to try and pick who's the best in terms of response, which is like we all have now giant Star Destroyers.
Yeah.
I guess I got to join up. Maybe all cancel each other out. Let me think here. Heavy. I'll take Rook in heavy. Get the cloaking. Get some stuff going on with Palpatine and Rook.
You're taking my guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally forgot about Rook, but that's a great pick. Yeah.
He's good heavy.
Yeah, I'll take Thrawn. He betrayed Thrawn to join me because Vader joined Thrawn. It's total like Palpatine sort of now trying to pull the strings.
Yeah, I could see
attack
Palpatine
Ben's team.
Yeah. I could see Palpatine being like, as soon as he sees that divorce happen, being like, bring me Rook. It's like,
right?
Yeah. I can see this happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess I got that. So I got Rook and I got the Devastator.
Yeah. And a squad of Death Troopers, which is like that. Imagine like Palpatine flanked by Death Troopers.
Yeah.
It's just like a black curtain of pain.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my Twitter bio for my team. Yeah. Our club team.
Yeah, that's your club name. All right, back to me, and I know what I'm going to pick here. I feel like I only have one more pick left.
Yeah, I think so. We're down
heavy intelligence wildcard vehicle. Yeah, and it's troopers. So I am going to pick shock troopers.
Oh, nice.
These are the guys that
pick.
Yeah,
is this from Jedi Fallen Order or something?
Yeah. Yes, they are in Fallen Order.
Are they Purge troopers? The things,
they're in Rebels.
Yeah.
They're in they exist. They're stormtroopers with the red stripes. They usually stick on Coruscant, but they are elite stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're like Tarkin's right?
Well, those are technically
Coruscant Guard, like
what
red.
are they called? Night troopers.
Okay.
But I think the red is more. Oh, maybe they were shock troopers at one point because they do have red all over their kits. But I thought that was kind of part of that. I forget the name of the pottery style. Kintsugi.
Yeah, they did it with in episode 9.
Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah. Something like it begins with a K.
But
Yeah.
No, that's cool. That's a great pick. That's a fantastic pick.
Yeah, I love it.
I love those guys. I was like really thinking, and like I was like shocked, but then I was thinking of like Adam, like all those guys with the giant fluffy chaps walking around.
Yeah, I know. It's just for looks. It's not going to help. A Star Destroyer walking around like it's cold out. They're going to die of heat stroke. Your
Super Star Destroyer is going to have a disco in it, and it's going to just be those guys.
Yeah,
that's great. All right, my team is complete. Adam, with your last pick.
Yeah, I got my wild card. I'm going for synergy here. This is not a joke. I'm actually going to do this. For my wild card, I'm picking Cyril Karn.
Oh my god!
Nice,
come on.
Yeah,
but also strange pick. But
it's strange. Well, here's my thought. Here's my thought process. One, he's a straight up serial killer, so he's just going to do some nasty stuff to someone.
Mm-hmm.
He also
he'll tailor everyone's outfits.
Yep. He's also so in love with Deirdre Mero that he will just do anything to impress her, and she'll be able to take advantage of that to get him to do stuff. To basically have him be a human shield or a last ditch, suicide effort or something. So that's my
Dude, you have a wild team, and you have so many leaders on it too. We'll talk about
it's very high. I chose a high IQ team.
I have Boba Fett and Rook. I basically am striking from the shadows with those characters, and then Palpatine's Force Lightning. For anyone who's left standing.
Yeah, or they see Boba Fett flying in, and they're like, "Oh no!" And then Rook slits all their throats.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, he's just there behind.
I wasn't going to go there, but
while you're looking at the rock in my hand, the scissors in my fist, or something.
Exactly. But I am nervous about all our teams. I think they're all pretty tough teams for our Rebel Strike Forces to sort of circumvent.
Yeah,
it's almost as if there's a lot of great characters in Star Wars.
There's so many. So fun to see the ones we fought over, and it's sort of who we thought would make the teams.
I love that idea, Grant, of the super laser turbo laser. It's so fun. Yeah, it just adds a nice little element to it.
Yeah. It took me a long time for both of my brain cells to touch each other and be like, because my original plan was like, I'm gonna wait till someone else picks Vader, then I'm gonna super like laser blast them. But then I was like, no, if I call it, I'm gonna waste one of their super laser blasts. And then I still
go right away with it.
Yeah, I still have mine in the hopper.
It was perfect. It just worked out so well. The second I did it, I was just going. I looked at the draft order in my mind. I'm like, nope. It's not going to work out for me because either Grant or Ben's going to get them. So nope.
No.
Funny.
Yeah, that was I was saving my laser blast for Vader because I knew that was going to be the bit like at least the heavy position is. There's no greater heavy in the history.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right on. Are we going to run down our teams?
Yeah, let's run down our Imperial Response Force.
Sure. So for my leader, I have Tarkin. Troopers are range troopers. The heavy is a Grand Inquisitor. The intelligence officer is Deirdre Mero. The wild card is Cyril Karn. And the vehicle is a Super Star Destroyer.
Oh my goodness.
I went for high IQ.
Yeah, you have Tarkin, the Grand Inquisitor, Deirdre Mero, and Cyril Karn, and all in a hot tub together.
Cyril might be too much of a disruptor. I'm hoping he steers.
I don't think so. I think he's getting exactly what he wants. Mm-hmm. He's part of the big team. He has his big boy pants on. I feel like he's gonna show up and do whatever he needs to prove it.
Too. I cannot wait.
I'm
what his full arc is.
He is literally the person I'm most interested in season 2.
He's super compelling.
He's the only one I have no idea what's gonna happen.
Yeah, he's such a wild card.
I have no idea what's happening, but it's compelling.
Yeah. Again, I went very literal with my wild card on both picks.
Yeah, he's a literal wild card. You have no idea. Yeah, like I see in that group, like if you ever got close to Tarkin, I think he would annoy the hell out of Tarkin. Yes, and I think he would smell the aspirations on him and he'd put him on a mission. But if Cyril messed up one time, it would be his life.
Tarkin would drop Cyril into the woods and just have him
guys, exactly. They're going to put him on a shuttle with a ton of explosives on it, so he can blow it up and take himself with it. He will do it. So
that's the kind of weirdo he is. All right, I love my swaggy team. So what did I end up with? Partagas was my intelligence officer.
Yep.
He's just there standing in the corner scowling. Thrawn and Vader fist bumping.
That's so upsetting to me that you got that
on the deck of the Chimera, flanked by Imperial guards and with a squadron of shock troopers in the hold, ready to party with some E11s.
I love it. I can't remember the names of the books are just the new canon Thrawn books. I will never get those names down because they're just
Alliances.
whatever. Yeah.
treason.
So there's the one that kind of jumps back and forth in time with Thrawn with Anakin and then Vader, right?
Yeah, that was the second trilogy.
Alliances, I thought.
Yeah,
Alliances,
that makes sense. That name makes sense.
That was a great book.
Yeah,
that's
so
why
good.
Ben Stein worked so well.
Yeah, exactly.
The book's all about Thrawn Vader synergy, which there's a lot of apparently, which is
it was a real outlier for a Thrawn trilogy
really
too, because you got some naval tactics in there, but it was a lot about like Thrawn on a ground mission with Anakin / Vader, or Vader, just hanging out like a buddy comedy.
It was very interesting. Yeah, very different from Zahn's usual styles. Yeah,
definitely. It was a perfect middle trilogy there for them.
I think like Galaxy's Edge is in that book too. Like
Batu.
The two,
they're good at Batu.
Like Thrawn and Vader and what they did on Batu is there in like that's almost like those are the kind of footsteps I would want to retrace if I was there. All right, I'll talk my team now. I got to start with leader because obviously I got to start with the top of the list here. I got Palpatine,
Dark Lord of the Sith,
in leader, Dark Lord of the Sith. Ever heard of him? You got
AKA Darth Sidious, which is my preferred nomenclature.
I have Palpatine calling the shots here. I've got Death Troopers as my troopers, just like the standard issue, response team is going to be Death Troopers. Yeah, with the fat, incredible vocoder.
Yeah,
I got Rook and Boba Fett as sort of dual heavies, but essentially I have Rook in heavy and Boba Fett in wild card, which is insane. Like that to me, I'm just like, man, Palpatine using these guys would be out of control. And then I got Yularen in intelligence officer, and I have Vader's Devastator in vehicle, so they're getting there via just standard Star Destroyer.
Yeah,
nice.
A lot of experience with Yularen. He's the guy you want on the deck of your Star Destroyer for sure. That's cool, man. Yeah, a lot of good characters are turned out. I knew I had a limited scope of kind of what I was thinking about. I mean, I picked classics on almost everything, even though I had like a Andor deck and I had a Rebels deck too. Like I could have just gone straight Rebels. That would have been pretty fun. But
I think Adam got Andor synergy in this round, and I think I got Andor synergy in the first round.
You got it.
Definitely covered the show characters. So the characters are already indelible, iconic characters. We're picking them for this draft.
Yeah.
And Dedra Meero, like Adam getting Dedra Meero in intelligence officer. I mean, like she's only been uncovering the truth, whereas the rest of the ISB is sort of just like
that's what I was kind of going for.
Lost.
Yeah. Everyone else is stabbing each other in the back, and she's like, "I'm here to do work."
She's laser focused. She's young. She's hungry. That's why I was kind of picking her. Just not off topic, but we're talking about Andor. Odds we see Tarkin in Andor season 2.
Ooh,
hi.
Yeah, right. Like they that's super easy.
Say.
They got the approval from what's his name's family. So and be interesting to kind of
Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if it stopped at Krennic.
Yeah. I mean that does make.
No, I think you have to have Tarkin because just like Yularen, you're sort of like going up the hierarchy, and that's sort of part of the compelling. Yeah, it's like a compelling aspect of the show. It's like you're like, how high are we up? Are we going to see?
Yeah,
in terms of the Empire.
I know,
and then you could eventually get like Sly Moore and
tease, a whisper of
Palpatine
her name.
Yeah, right. I know. Just walking by in the party. But like so with Tarkin, it's interesting because the reason I'm thinking this is like they teased the Death Star stuff right at the end of season 1 and like it's hard to start talking about Death Star and not at least have a Tarkin moment because of that. Like that's his baby.
Yeah, I feel like Tarkin
or Krennic just talks to Tarkin for like there's the initial aspect.
Yes.
Initial part.
Yeah, it might be like
That's what it would be because I think we see in Rogue One or in Catalyst maybe, which that I felt like Tarkin swept in at the 11th hour and claimed that program once he knew it was viable.
Right. Okay.
Like it was like it was totally Krennic's deal. It might have been in Catalyst.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Krennic's like that's mine now, but it might have been Rogue One really when that happens. And he was like, and now the Emperor will bask in my victory. And Krennic's like, you dare? Like, I think that was how it went. So
I almost want to like hear Palpatine say something about the Death Star, because like you never really get the motivation for building the Death Star. It's just sort of like taking over the galaxy and accusing the Jedi as sort of boast of what Palpatine vocalizes. You kind of don't understand the motivations surrounding the Death Star, and I almost want to hear like what the officers are hearing from the very top of like why we're making this super weapon.
It's an odd
that's the sort
move.
of stuff I want to hear. Like people verbalize essentially.
Really?
So, like, because I'm like, why even like what? Everyone agrees to building this. Like, it's not even just a
super weapon,
a nuke. It's like it can destroy entire galaxies or entire.
It's undeniably evil.
It's undeniably powerful.
There's no ethics board that's passing the creation of Death Star.
It is odd, right? And I guess it's the move is just like you go from winning hearts and minds, but you can't sustain that. So you just then lead by fear, right? Like once you do it, which I mean, like, I don't know. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like anyway. Yeah.
So Grant, I would say I file this the other way. And it's like, we hold these Death Stars to be self-evident. Like, it's just like, it's a Death Star, dude. Like it just like, of course we have we're making a Death Star. We're an evil tyranny. And it's just, no one talks about it. Palpatine makes it, like ask for it to be constructed, and it's a Death Star. Of course, these evil conglomerate would want a Death Star. They need to,
is a Death Star called the Death Star internally?
Internally.
Is it called the Death Star or Project Stardust, or what's it actually called?
Galen Erso's recorded message to Jin.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Said, they call it the Death Star.
They call it,
no better name. Yeah.
There's no better. Yeah, that's right.
It's actually the size of a moon, so it should be Death Moon, but but that's not as good of a name. Death Satellite. No, I agree. Death Star is the best name. But it's just so interesting to think about it, because like about the spin, like you could almost spin the Jedha, like the Jedi use of it, because you could just try to argue that there's a bunch of like fanatics, right? And that's why they used it to like the populace. But like blowing up Alderaan is like there's nothing on the news cycle that can be like, no, we blew up the peaceful place, and we got rid of a couple of malcontents, but the other billions were just whatever.
And them too.
Yeah. It's wild.
That was when they said they wanted to rule by fear, they wanted to rule by fear.
That's right, on by fear, right? Step out of line, see what happens. Blow up your entire planet.
So I wanted to backtrack a little bit, because you talked about it a little bit, Grant, but it's like one of my favorite parts of Andor is that they're so sparing with cameos. Like there's none. And it's so good with the new characters and the few cameos we get. Like, wouldn't you need to be wearing brown pants if Tarkin all of a sudden walked into the room like at one of those ISB meetings?
It'll be Krennic. It'll be Tarkin learning about.
But I'm just saying,
how the Death Star is not even complete yet, so it's nearing completion, right? Like,
later in the season,
the discs are being assembled. The laser is being assembled.
There's still
the Kyber is being.
We have 5 years to cover. We have 4 years to cover in season 2.
Yeah.
So you're 4 years out from completion.
Yeah. And my guess is you don't see Krennic.
Is this a Rebels territory?
It exactly overlaps Rebels.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's 5 years before the battle.
So they're like, okay.
I'm doing a Rebels rewatch right now for the sole purpose
of
Saw is
eventually Saw is hunting the Death Star. Saw eventually his whole goal is to find out about the Death Star.
He's closing in on the Death Star in Rebels.
Okay. Saw is fixated on the Death Star.
Because there's like the Genosha episode, right?
So that is the one thing that was a big reveal in that interview on Script Notes from Gilroy. Gilroy said,
"What did he say?"
He's like he farmed out the 4 different trilogies to like 4 different teams of writers, right?
Yeah,
and he let them decide. He said it's a record drop, it's a needle drop. And it just in the middle of that year, somewhere where the coolest stuff is happening, where like those writers decided this is going to be the coolest series of events, and it happens over 3 days. So it's like real time, 3 days.
It's so cool,
of the year. So it's not like hunting and pecking cool. Each episode's far apart. It's just like we're going to take you on this 3-day adventure, and at this point in time in the middle of the thing, and of course, like Gilroy uses
It's-
a music metaphor for it.
Yeah, but that's so like putting those. I wouldn't say necessarily limitations, but putting those rules in place really leads to interesting storytelling. I mean, it's not exactly the same thing, but like real quick, I don't want to get too much into comics corner, but Marvel is doing the Ultimates line, which is like a different universe.
All right.
They just restarted Ultimate Spider-Man. But what's fascinating about it is, one issue comes out a month. Every month takes place a month after the last issue. So it's actually in real time.
Oh, real time.
Which is fascinating when you think about what that means in terms of a comic book, because you can't leave like to be continued a big battle because the next issue picks up a month later. So reading it is like really different than reading any other comic book because it has to be a self-contained thing. And like then like what happens at the end of like, that month. It's just a really interesting way to tell those stories.
Convention.
Yeah. I've never seen anything like it in comics.
But, I'm harping on this point because like put yourself in your chair, your comfy chair, watching Andor season 1. And like, how mind-blowing would it be to get one of those major cameos? Like, it's such a slow build and you're at such ground level. I mean, I know it's going to accelerate, and I'm almost worried it's going to be too cameo heavy was like my worry, but knowing that it's going to be these 3-day narratives makes me feel a lot better about that. Cause like, I just want a discussion between two nobodies about like rebellion. Like that's kind of what I'm here for. Just watching great acting and great, reading.
I hope I wonder how much season 1 is going to be woven into season 2 in terms of like the Nemec stuff that sort of gets you hear in VO sort of like over Andor doing this action and stuff like that, and Luthen doing stuff, and it's like I feel like Nemec was just so incredible and epic, and I almost picked him for my Rebel Strike team. I almost picked him as
Nemec. Nemec's great,
a hard
strategist or something. But,
he'd be a good strategist. I mean, he'd be like a ideologue.
But I do wonder because that stuff was so good, and I just it's like you already had a character that was that sort of ideological, and it's you're going to do that again. It's like I imagine there's maybe more footage with Nemec, or Nemec comes back. Like he really represents the rebellion in a really fun, crazy way. It's so cool. Like I wonder if we're going to weave any
callbacks.
Any callbacks.
I think that journal is going to come into play.
Yeah, like I think
a little more, maybe not, but that was powerful.
It was such a powerful character, and it felt like there's still story to tell there, right? Like it just feels like there's more. No, so stoked on this, and Gilroy seemed super proud of it.
Bix is going to be back in a big way. I think in the trailer I've just seen like big action sequences and stuff where I'm just like, this is going to be so fun to have the characters we know that are just so awesome from season 1.
Who's the other guy? The big dude from Ferrex?
Brasso.
Yeah. Brasso's definitely going to be in there too. That's going to be a motivating factor.
I think Cassian says, I'll find you guys at the end of season 1. I'll find you.
I'll find you.
Right.
Ultimately, obviously does.
Yeah.
But those are some good folks. And if they're really like keyed in on Rebellion, that's a fun strike team. We saw, I don't know, we never covered the second Andor trailer, but there's definitely there's a great, it's like 10 frames of K2SO punching a stormtrooper off a catwalk.
Yeah. I didn't see it. So I don't know.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And you just see him from behind. He's like walking away from you on a catwalk, and he just like punches a stormtrooper from the side and knocks him off.
Amazing.
Like casually.
It's going to be interesting, right? Because I feel like there's like zero levity in season 1, right? Like there's like, is there like, I'm trying to think, it's like, there's got to be a couple laugh lines, but not a ton at all. And to suddenly introduce K2SO, which is a great character, but basically your comic relief, right? That is the big part of what that character does.
I'm so excited for it. It's almost the one thing.
So no, I'm excited, but it's going to be so interesting because that changes the dynamics a little bit in a way that we haven't seen, which is good because now it gets dark. So you need a little bit of like that K2SO, Cassian, or Andor.
Kind of dark humor though, right? Because isn't he pretty violent? Like K2SO is kind of violent.
Yeah. Casually violent. Oh, but so funny. Yeah, hopefully he's that funny from the beginning, and then it's like because they're like his wiring's all. Is
it Alan Tudyk from the beginning, or is he gonna have the voice of the one we heard on Niam?
Oh,
and sort of like,
I think they reprogram him. So I'm expecting a comic interaction. If we see the reprogramming, I'm looking forward to the comic, interaction. The other thing that I'm gonna keep harkening back to this thing. I'm sorry, is he's. Gilroy said he hates exposition. he's like, we're not doing any exposition. So it's like in between these needle drops, there's no explanation as to what happened in the downtime. None. So like K2SO can just show up in one of these weeks and it's just like, don't worry about it. But, or he could show it. I feel like that's probably one of the hot times that, like, if I was a writer, I'd want to write about capturing and reprogramming K2SO. I think that would be kind of fun.
Or just like, it could even be quick, like how you do it, but it's like, it's got to be the aspect of sort of like, well, it's almost like you want to see Cassian face that shadow again of confronting an Imperial security droid. But like this next time that he faces the Imperial security droid, it basically like he looks into its eyes and then he finds a way to sort of like weave around and slice in or reprogram him. You know what I mean? Do something to just overcome the situation that in which he failed and was captured initially, and sort of like that's supposed to see that growth with Cassian, where he's like, just you know what, not this time. Not gonna get me this time. Yeah.
And just having to trust one of those droids after the experience he had.
After that happened. Yeah. That's crazy.
It's such a great moment.
K2S has got to save his life or something, right? Yeah. Like, how do you trust a droid like that?
But I feel like you also still get the lingering experience of that even in Rogue One, right? He loves K2SO, but there's also like he does really talk about it in a way that is clearly still at times sees that same, K2 droid that
I could see K2 hurting him much like that droid did on the beach, and Cassian being like, put me down now, put me down. You know what I mean? Like after, but maybe K2 saves him from falling or something.
He's like, never that. But there is that time where he's like, and I am sorry for the slap, Cassian.
Yeah.
When he does accidentally rough him up.
Oh, it's so good. Oh man,
so good.
And there's another one where that came from.
Yeah. All right, now it's just I want to watch Rogue One.
I know he's so necessary in that movie because I remember just sitting there watching the beginning of that and being kind of. I'm always thrown at the beginning of any Star Wars, but I was thrown because we talked about before. There's no crawl. It kind of like jump scares you into the beginning of this thing.
Yeah,
and you're going different planets. You're getting planets names, and it's super dire. Like first scene, you watch like your hero murder someone. And so like it's just really dark, and I'm just like sitting there in the theater going, are we just doing like metal Star Wars now? Is this like there's no fun in Star Wars anymore? And the second K2, I'm like, oh no, there's your fun. All right, good. We got some fun here. Yeah. It's like you don't need it constant, but just a little bit in there, just a little bit.
Very good.
Yeah.
Once a week, I'm like, do you want to know what the odds of that happening are? They're high.
Yeah, high.
Very high.
Very high. Yeah. That scene is so good. Yeah.
Such a good line. It's so good. Yeah. It's also great. It's just one of those things where it's just like that movie had fun in terms of ways you weren't expecting it to, where it did callbacks. So it's a callback, right? Like you wouldn't expect a callback in the middle of like of Andor, but they do it, or in the middle of Rogue One, but they do it, and it just feels so natural. And just hilarious. Yeah. Yeah, what a great movie.
Very good times. Good times. All right, we did it, guys. This is super fun. Thank you, Grant, for creating this draft. This was
seriously
a good time.
So much fun,
guys. I was excited. Just the beginning of our Andor coverage, I thought it was a fun way to celebrate.
Yeah. Just
do a fun little draft.
Yeah, a little behind the scenes. Sometimes we don't have something planned, and we're just like, we'll just wing it and be like, great, you figure something out. And every time he comes through,
something different. Yeah,
it's amazing. Yeah.
We like to gamify the pod a little bit.
Yeah.
Heuristic for what's going on. Trying to stay current. Andor is as current as we go right now. Mm-hmm. I am listening to Tempest Breaker, so you don't have to.
I will. I'm a completist. I just downloaded it from Audible. I use one of my credits.
I'll listen to it.
I'll listen.
I'm not saying it's bad. I would never dispute the grand intelligence of all the people involved in making something like that, but I hate it.
We've discussed it. Like I feel the same way. I do not like the audio dramas. It doesn't work for me.
It comes off as juvenile, the dialogue.
Yes.
Not like,
because
I know it has to be descriptive. It's all exposition.
You can't show, you have to tell. Like it violates the oldest rule in storytelling.
And the sound design and the sound design is bad. The music cues are unforgivable. That's like really all of a sudden they'll just slap in like at a weird volume a classic like Star Wars cue. And you're just like, it takes you out of it because you're like, this isn't that. The mood isn't the same. Like
which is a shame because I feel like in the books they do better at matching the mood with the song they choose.
The books are actually very good. Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm comparing it to. Is like the apples to apples here. Like they've done a great job with it in the past, and
We know they know how to do it. Yeah.
And it's centered around a character I would have cut in half with a lightsaber.
I know, who seems to be getting such a big role in phase 3.
The only problem with this phase for me, and man, we got to say a few compliments after this because there's some beautiful written
there's a lot of good
scenes.
stuff.
No, I love all of it, but
like the Fear of the Jedi as a phase to me, I didn't expect it to be so literal. Like I'm reading the Fear of the Jedi comics now too, and it's like there's like a fear engine, and I'm like, I'm like, why are we going so literal with this? I don't know. I don't get
the comics, and this is very like this feels like a comic, like they're reading a comic book to you, in a lot of style ways, and it's like, I
want to break it down for a second because here's the thing. I think I've talked about this in the past. I used to listen to, because I'm a giant nerd, I used to listen to like old radio dramas at times because when I was like working, and they're fun, they're cheeky, like listen to the old Dragnets, stuff like that. Here's why those work. Because all of those old radio dramas are set in the real world. There's no sci-fi elements. So they don't need that much exposition because you understand who's talking and what's happening.
Right.
Because everyone knows what a cop drama is. Star Wars, you can't do that. You have to explain all the weird sci-fi stuff that's happening. And then it becomes just exposition. It just doesn't, you can't do radio dramas in certain settings, or you can, but it just doesn't come out well.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Or every time you introduce Jedi Master Orbelin, you have to describe how he's just a disgusting ball of slime. And
everyone has to say it out loud.
And you hear the worst, grossest, like someone stirring mayonnaise sound effect you've ever heard in your life.
Just
now
I'm
excited to listen to this thing now.
Yeah. Maybe stirring like dry mac and cheese.
No, I like that stuff. That stuff's great. I love my strange Jedi. Like,
I mean, I would too, but like presentation. I mean, and
Yeah.
I got it the first time, Orbelin. It's like every time he talks. Actually, the voice acting is superb, and the voice effects are great. I will say, of course, and this is all my humble opinion.
Yeah.
My nerdy opinion, but it's driving me bonkers. But I'm gonna finish it.
I think it's a
Listen
limitation
to it for 5 hours in the car today.
Oh, jeez. Well, there's your problem.
Okay, well, you can't go all at once like that.
You're gonna go insane doing
Gotta
that.
take a break.
Well, when you drink Malort, you don't take sips. You know what I mean? You just pour it down your gullet as fast as you can.
I will say, I think these criticisms that we have are more criticism of the form than it is for me, at least, criticism of the form, of the limitations of the form than it is anyone involved in it.
Yeah. We'll have a much greater conversation when we finally put a bow on the High Republic and we know kind of what it is. But this feels like a departure. I don't recognize Avar Kriss in this. Like
Speaking of which, the new Claudia Gray young adult novel came out 2 days ago in the High Republic. So can't remember the name of it. I'll have to look up in our spreadsheet. So I'll have to cover that post Andor. I mean, the nice thing about Andor's only going to be around for a month.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to get caught back up
all this stuff. But I do think we should push Breaker there too. So like
I think so. I think we're too close.
And then and then by then we'll probably be at the Light of the Jedi or whatever the finale is called.
Maybe. I mean that's in June. So so that might be pretty close. Yeah, that's right.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. Into the Light is the name of the one.
Into the Light. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, maybe right out of Into the Dark. Yeah. I know I do like the story, but it's like right now where I'm at, I don't like the story.
Yeah, we need to get to a big climactic moment here.
Interestingly enough, I think my favorite part right now of High Republic is the High Republic Adventures comics. I don't know why. Those are just clicking for me.
The art has been consistently beautiful. Like
I like the characters.
It's a wild thing. Yeah, Rom Jameron, I like very much.
Oh yeah.
And buckets of blood. No, there's lots I love about this, and I adored the last book we read too. All right, last all of them. Okay, that's it. I'm really wrapping up the podcast.
All right,
so get ready for that. You guys are great. You look great. You look like you're in good mental health, and I appreciate that. All of you at home, I hope the same for you. Thank you so much for listening to us. We greatly appreciate it. We hope we brought you some distraction from other stuff. If
there's ever a need to disappear into a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, it's right about now, except it's all about fighting fascists. And you're like, oh, yo, did you see that meme I just texted you guys? The prequel.
Yeah, that was too funny. Exactly right.
Yeah. We're recording live.
Dude, I've been a prequel defender since the beginning of time. So feel it and understand it better than anyone.
Yeah, we're reporting live from the first paragraph of the crawl of a Phantom Menace right now. That's where we're coming from.
Seriously.
Yeah. So, word. All right. You guys are great. We'll talk to you next week on Cantina Chronicles.